Good evening and welcome to Café Tolento. My name is Josh Tolento, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview of what you should be expecting over the next several weeks here and coming into 2026. So you may have already seen the website. Currently, we are in pre-launch right now. If you go to cafetolento.com, you will be able to sign up for email alerts to be notified once products do launch. I won't spam you, so just drop your email address in there and your name, and then I will let you know once everything is available to purchase online. So a couple things I want to kind of highlight for Café Tolento here, which is, two of the most important things, which is the coffee and the honey. So I am also the Mindful Beekeeper. So if you do see that name floating around quite a bit on social media, that is the parent business of Tolento Coffee Infused Honey. So my beehives are currently out back here, and I also have a couple other sites in Northwest Ohio. So all the honey that I'm using in my product here is coming from Northwest Ohio sourced honey. And the majority of it is coming from my hives right here in the backyard. Others are coming from different spots. So, when it comes to beekeeping, I really chose the name The Mindful Beekeeper for, a couple different reasons. And one of the main reasons why I chose that name is because I've been seeing a lot of other beekeepers on YouTube, on Facebook, different social media platforms, and they create these videos that, in my opinion, I feel like they almost do it on purpose. That way they get more views. And we know the content that goes around that really takes off and gets viral in beekeeping is when beekeepers are being swarmed or being attacked by bees. So, I started seeing that quite a bit online. And in my opinion, I just don't think that there's ever a reason to record that and make money off of it. So you'll never see me posting content like that on the Mindful Beekeeper channel. When I do honeybee rescues and removals from walls, or if I do hive work, I am really tuned in to the bees so I can really, get a feel for how they feel with me being in the area. If I go to my hives and I'm all anxious and I'm not in the right mindset, they'll let me know right away. I'll have bees, charging me right in front of my face, staring me down. So I really take the time to just, ground myself. I have my own, process and my own method of doing it. And then I can walk up to the beehives and really just tune in and forget about everything else and work with the bees. If the bees do end up getting very agitated, which happens quite a bit when I'm doing removals out, in the public, I normally will just say, okay, they're too agitated right now. Let's just take a break, leave them be for a little bit, whether it be a half hour, an hour, 2 hours, however long it takes to get them to kind of calm down a little bit, and then I'll move back in. Now, one thing that my customers in the beekeeping industry will see me do quite a bit is I'll talk to the bees, and I do feel like they understand what I'm trying to say. Now, not everybody will agree with that. Personally, I think it works because it has really worked for me quite a bit when I've done removals. And it's as simple as just, introducing yourself as a beekeeper, moving slowly, and I just straight up tell them what I'm doing. I'm going to be moving them from one home to a permanent home. So that's kind of the rundown on the Mindful Beekeeper. There's a lot more I could go into on that, but I do need to set some time aside for the coffee as well. So this right here actually is some Ethiopian coffee that I've been testing. I've roasted this down to about a 13% here, so we're at a medium roast, and I have about 3 different test batches right now going through infusion. So when we talk about coffee here, one of the most important things for me in this industry is making sure that I'm sourcing coffee beans responsibly. So that's why I made the choice to only use Fair Trade or Rainforest Alliance certified coffees from around the world. To me, that really adds a layer of value to the product, and also shows that I'm focused on sustainability. And I do have quite a bit of knowledge and experience in coffee roasting. When I stayed out west, I lived out there for about 7 years, and I do have somebody to thank for mentoring me and teaching me quite a bit that I know about the world coffee industry, and they know who they are. I'm not going to name them in this video because they might not want to be called out, but I really do appreciate that help. And I truly believe that you can always learn something from everybody. So I'm no expert when it comes to coffee, but I do know quite a bit, and I'm able to take that knowledge and merge it with honey to really come out with a just a perfect bittersweet blended product, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. So with the coffee, where I'm at right now is I have chosen two coffees to include on my product line that has been finalized. It's not public yet, but I have chosen a coffee out of Mexico and a coffee out of Brazil. I'm currently testing Ethiopia, and I'm testing Costa Rica as well. Right now, I'm on track to be able to launch the first product, whether it be the Mexico or the Brazil one. I might be able to do both depending on how my infusion testing goes over the next week or so here. My target is to have something available for order by January 1st. Where it's looking at right now, I may be behind about a week or so on that time frame, but that's my target. I'm really trying to get something out there for the new year and get people testing it and, you know, acquire their feedback from it. The final product here, this is one of my test batches. So this is some actually Brazil coffee that I have infused in my fall honey. And this is kind of what it looks like once the infusion has ended and I have, you know, filtered things out and got it down to a level to where it just is a fine product. So the process takes quite a while from roast to final product. After going through, you know, dozens of test batches of the coffee, different honey to coffee ratios, different infusion times, infusion temperatures, finding the flaws and finding, you know, how to correct those. It's a process, but I really enjoy doing it because coffee is a passion of mine. I normally put that on, you know, the back burner during the summertime just because I'm so focused on beekeeping, and summers back here are brutal as far as humidity goes. When wintertime comes around, I really have a chance to just slow things down, focus more on coffee. I love roasting coffee. I have myself my 100-gram test batch coffee roaster here. This is nothing to get super excited about, but it is a pretty nice roaster for about 130 bucks, a nice budget line. It's allowing me to do all of my test batches, and if I didn't mention before, when I am going from roast to final product, I am collecting upwards of 35 pieces of data. That way I can really track everything from bean roast to final product. And if I, you know, hit on something that is really fantastic, I'll be able to go back to that data, replicate it, and go from there. So, you know, there's a lot of exciting things happening. Also, this right here is my first test batch of whipped coffee infused honey. You can kind of see how it is separating from darker to lighter up through here. I haven't tried this yet. This has been kind of sitting here for about a month or so, so I've been watching it to see how it reacts. I mean, personally, I think that design is really cool, but I have not tasted anything through here. I assume the best is probably going to be at the bottom, but this is something to also look forward to as a whipped honey variation of the coffee infused honey. This won't be available. It won't be available first quarter of 2026. Probably be more of a mid-year or end of year release after I put this through a lot more testing. It just takes longer with the whipped to be able to kind of really see where things are at. This specific test batch of honey, I did dry it down to about 16% water content. And so that's what it tested at prior to whipping. That way it's more stable for long-term storage there. So that's I think that's pretty much the rundown of what's going on here at Café Tolento. I did get myself a new espresso machine. My cousin from Arizona actually sent this to me, and I had my eye on it for a while just because of the retro switches on here. I kind of like that, in opposed to having a digital operation. So I really do love this. It's a Nervetta, and it's a 15-bar espresso machine. It seems to work very well so far here. It's a big upgrade from my other one that was about a $60 espresso machine. This one, I believe, was price tagged at about $175 on Amazon. And if you buy the protection plan for 16 bucks a month, you know, if it ever fails out, you can just swap it out for a new one. That Amazon plan is really nice because I pay 16 bucks a month, and it's blanket coverage over anything that I buy on Amazon that is included in that protection. So this coffee grinder, the coffee roaster, the espresso machine, the scale, pretty much everything that you're looking at right here, even my water pot here, it's all purchased under that Amazon protection plan. So if anything fails out, or if I crack the glass on there, I just file an insurance claim, get the money back, and I can buy a new one. So Amazon, I mean, they're known for selling products that only last a couple years and then they just, go to heck. So that's why I decided to buy that protection plan. It really makes me feel better about trying new devices and machines. But the espresso machine, it heats up to 198, and then you can do an auto extraction. You just flip the switch down and then it'll stop after 30 seconds. You can do a manual, and then also you have your steamer, of course. You flip that switch down, it'll heat up, and then you can turn your steam on. Haven't had any problems at all with this thing clogging up. As long as you wipe it down and clean it and blow the steam out after you froth your milk, it seems to be holding up pretty well. So you might be seeing some more information about this coming out, and we'll kind of go from there. But in the meantime, if anybody wants to, I guess, be notified first of when you're going to be able to order the first batch of coffee infused honey, you need to go to cafetolento.com right now. Fill out the form. I will not spam you. Just drop your email address in there, your name in there, and as soon as I have the product available for purchase, all the early birds that have signed up will be notified first, and you'll have first dibs to order the product. I'm not sure how much supply I'm going to have on the first batch here. It is going to be either a Mexico or a Brazil infused honey here, so that's something to be expected there. But yeah, definitely get into the early bird notifications. That way you're aware when this comes out. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. If anybody has any requests, any feedback, tips, recommendations, even if you think I'm doing something wrong, let me know, because there's always something that you can learn from somebody. Like I said, I'm no coffee expert. There's so much to learn all the time. I do have great resources, people that I consider experts in the coffee industry. The one person is probably one of the most well-known person in the coffee industry. So it's always nice having those connections and being able to bounce ideas back and forth, to benefit both of our businesses here. So with that being said, hope we see all of you very soon. Cafetolento.com. Have a great day.